technology screen. Individual keeps sending me links on demonstrations that he's doing, and I don't know why you're doing this, because if you do this, I'm going to analyze your demonstration and find it to be fake. And now I'm going to show you why. All right. Number one, in the demonstration you displayed with the customer, that entire area couldn't have been any more fake. Number one, projector was sitting way too close to the screen. But then again, that's the amount of room he had in the environment. Number two, judging by how much light was coming through the window, it was probably around in the evening hours, probably close to nighttime, say about 6, 7 o'clock. So there was no real light coming in the window at all. So that shows nothing at all. What you have in the lights on in the environment, everything you did in the demonstration, you stuck to very high, bright colors, which is usually what most people do. The demonstration with the black on the Lamborghini, keep in mind, you had the room dark for the remainder of the video, knowing that the contrast would wash out. So these are things I automatically know from the door. So since you want to keep faking these demonstrations on the Cinema Mix, we ordered it. It's on its way. So we're going to show you exactly where in the demonstrations where they try to falsify and fake demonstrations. Now you see how when we display our screens, fully lit environment, plenty of window light, overhead light, projector sits back 18 feet, no professional, no high-end, no 4K, none of that stuff. Fully lit environment. This is your personal mix. It can't even maintain the color red in my environment because we have too much light in here. It comes up as tan. So if your Cinema Mix is lighter than this, it's going to do far worse. And it's on its way. We just placed in the order. It just went through. The problem is you got to figure out which one, who placed it. I told you I got ties in California. So you keep doing these fake demonstrations and it makes the industry look bad. My test room. This is why we have so many projectors, because we test our products on everything. I can make your product downstairs in my basement. It's just basic black and white paint. I'll make the same version that you did in the video for free. I'll duplicate the same video in a dark environment and I'll pull off the exact same thing without even having the Cinema Mix here yet. So in the demonstration, you didn't show any color patterns, no star field, no serious contrast demonstrations. Contrast levels were camouflage. When you show a demonstration with a car, that's a camouflage contrast demonstration. Showing something like OLED, like the fish, the black background, fireworks, something where remaining if 90% of the video is black, that's a contrast demonstration. What you showed was basically a bunch of colors peppered across the screen. And the display of the window, come on. The time zone, when you look out the window, it was between 7 and 8. So there was no real light pushing through the window. You see the window light I had downstairs? We're at what, 10 o'clock right now? I think I did the last video at 9 o'clock with all the lights on. There you go. So you really got to stop doing these fake demonstrations. But I can make your version of your free product, the video you deleted, and duplicate your video very easily. This is why you got to stop doing these fake demonstrations, because you mislead people. You mislead people in these demonstrations. Same thing like these. Well, the big companies don't mislead you. They tell you exactly what you're getting right from the door. They do. They do. That's why they have different categories of darker screens. But you, on the other hand, you like to do these misleading videos. So your Cinemax is on its way. It will be here shortly, soon. Well, once the person of interest picked it up for us, they're going to mail it to us and we're going to do the unboxing here. And we're going to put you against the Black Nova. All the screens we have in here, which we usually do. We're going to do the color patterns, especially with that downstairs environment. Good gracious, that area is so well lit, it's insane. You see how well lit it is compared to up here? Yeah. And the reason how I get these videos is because this particular individual emailed me. I haven't blocked him from my email yet. He'll email me and say, look, this is what I did today. This is what I displayed today. You know what's going to happen. Why do you even bother basically bringing this to my attention if you know bottom line is I'm going to go in and analyze your video and show you exactly where and what you did in the video to fake it. Like you did with the gentleman who came in through the front door who wanted to order your product, who had your product, you were giving this to him. In the demonstration, basically, you had no real ambient light in contact with your screen at any given time. So let's go in here and restore. Right now I'm looking at other companies and their products. So let's show how you fake demonstrations. And we're going to mimic the same thing off the free product. You basically were given away for free, but you deleted that video. Let me see. And that's why I tell you, look around on the internet before you buy from us, because I know there isn't anyone doing demonstrations at our level. Do you see how much light the gunmetal took into today? Even had the window open and that thing pulled a star field next to a window. Yeah, that's what you call technology that you test and that actually works. Not where you have to mimic things and fake things. So we're going to have a look. Here we go. Make sure our sound is mute here. And this is what I find really, really interesting and funny. Now keep in mind that the gunmetal technology that we developed, this is actually one of the darkest gunmetals I've seen so far next to any screen. If you even tried to make anything like that, you come close to making black technology. And that's not your field. So couldn't do that because then you'd be considered to be a hypocrite. So let's show you where you've made big mistakes. And I do this with big companies all the time. Showing you what you got to watch out for. I'm going to skip this. We had this on mute. There is a projector we're showing right here. As you notice, there's not any light coming through the window, and I'll tell you why. All this right here, all this should be well laminated. I'll show you the difference on how it's done properly. So you got it running through an enhancement conjunction boxes. Now you're doing the demonstration again. You're in the dark. From a person who develops contrast screens are strictly designed to pull up black levels. Yeah, trying to pull that past me is, yeah, see, in the dark. If you turn the lights on, the screen automatically turns tan. But you have the lights on through the remainder of the video. You're sitting in the dark. It looks exactly like the environment that you have. Now he's showing how bright the environment is. All the lighting has in the environment. And this is where you pull out, you do this. Okay, this I'm explaining to you where you made your mistake. First things first, I told you from the door that, and I told you up from the door, anytime somebody displays a light gray screen and you're basically trying to show that it basically can pull in kind of an ambient light rejection kind of technology, they will do bright colors in a well-lit environment. Bright colors have a less chance of fading in an environment. That's what they'll do. Now, if he did a Starfield demonstration, if he did any of the OLED demonstrations, which have 98% more black in them in those demonstrations, even the LG with the horse, that's why I displayed that one quite a lot. you would have saw the screen automatically fade right from the door, because there's no screen painting he has can't pull contrast level, can't see color, but it can produce bright images. That it can do. So that doesn't prove anything. I could pull the same demonstration right here outside. Now you get your lights out again. Now, it's the Sony emblem would have came up. Everybody knows the background of a Sony emblem is jet black and it has the Sony symbol across it. You didn't do it, but do that with the lights on. See the background area? This is all faded. This is supposed to be jet black. Now, see when you lift up the curtain? It's between 7 and 8 o'clock. I don't even know why you're pulling the curtain up. See, 7, 8 o'clock. Lights went out again. When you displayed the black side of the jet. Now you're sitting in the dark. See how the lights are controlled? Lights come on when the image is, when it's showing bright colors. When you go back to contrast, automatically start turning the lights up because those areas will fade. This is a part you didn't see too well. Again, you can't show off contrast levels in a dark environment. When you display contrast levels, the area is supposed to be well lit to show that the screen can maintain its contrast levels even in a well lit environment. That's why when we do the star field or any kind of outer space display, we make sure there's plenty of window light around so you can see that the screen is still absorbing light and maintaining the contrast level at the same time. Anyone can pull a somewhat black level in a dark environment. Now the car is gray as it's coming out. As you notice, look, lights go back out again. You're constantly flicking the lights on and off. This is really sad. Don't send me videos, man. If you're not going to do demonstrations correctly, don't send me videos. All right? You see how I do my demonstrations downstairs? The one I just did on the gunmetal screen area is fully lit. Customers can see everything. Got the curtains pulled back, well lit. You're picking and choosing where you want light to go. See how you're showing that display right there? Your screen faded big time right there. Think anybody didn't pick that up. I saw that from the door. That's why you kept going back and forth when you were basically showing the contrast levels. You put the lights on, you take them off, you put them back on. That's a faded image. Your screen can't pull contrast. It can't see contrast. No matter how much you try to trick the consumers that they're seeing contrast, they're not. You didn't think anybody would pick up on that. Yeah, people pick up on that. Anybody that's an expert in the field would have saw that. Your screen completely faded from A to B right there. Gone. When you show a contrast level is supposed to show detail, depth to the image. You should see the rocky canyon. You should see the water splashing upon it. That is completely gone altogether. As I said before, your screens can't see contrast. No matter how much you want to convince the customers that they're going to be to see a contrast demonstration. If you were going to prove a contrast, you should have displayed, like I said, the harder contrast demonstrations. Star field to begin with, which is something we've been requesting for the longest time, but you will not display that due to the fact that if it's going to wash out there, there is no way in the world you're going to be able to camouflage that screen in a fully lit environment. This is why they choose certain videos where they can camouflage contrast levels. I can show you a star field demonstration with my screen at 126 inches sticking in a window. Your screen faded here because I know this is the dark contrast level where they show the canyon right in here between the river. I know this video by heart. That's a very poor demonstration. I'm sorry, but it's a very poor demonstration. Your light is constantly flickered on and off. You got the contrast levels. You constantly went in with flickering lights on and off. Your screen faded through most of the video demonstration. The majority of it was in the dark. I'm not going to go any farther in this because I know for a fact that this screen won't survive this environment. It won't. This is your personal mix. Your cinema mix will be here soon. We'll have it here soon. It's not going to survive. It's not going to do well. You see how much light we have in this environment? This is how well lit your environment is supposed to be. We haven't even had the overhead light on yet. This is how you test screens. Screens are supposed to be able to take this kind of lighting all day. My screen sits next to two huge big windows. And if you're trying to do a demonstration where you're opening up the curtain to display window light, making contact in front of the screen, that there wasn't even enough light outside for that light to push through to make light to hit the screen at all, period. So that was a complete fail. You got to stop faking demonstrations. If you're going to do a demonstration, this is what you should have did. You should have had that room in a fully lit environment. You should have displayed contrast levels in the environment as in star field, OLED demonstration, the LG horse, that's what I call it, any form of outer space scenery. All that should have been done in a fully lit environment to show that your screen can maintain a contrast level in a fully lit environment. That's what you should have displayed. Because as I said, at the end of the day, any gray screen is going to produce, as when I tested my my gray screen paint versus yours, any gray screen is going to produce a white level. Any gray screen. The problem that gray screens have is they can't produce contrast. And if they can't produce contrast, they can't produce color. Just like your screen's doing right now. And we're in a fully lit environment with the sun about to come up in a few minutes because we're going to have a sunny day today. This is your product right here. It's not even producing at all, period. So you're going to do a demonstration, do it correctly, and stop faking them, please. And if you're going to email me and send me over videos that you claim that your product is working, do one that's right, please. All right, because it's a waste of my time. On top of that, consider the fact that you're showing off a demonstration at a customer. It's supposed to be a customer, and you're showing off the contrast levels. Then if that's the case and it's so easy to do, you have one painted on your wall. How about you display that star field demonstration in a fully lit environment with the curtains pulled up and display that contrast level? If you can't do it on yours, why would you try to do it on somebody else's? And not bring it up properly. I am going to make the product that you made for free, a gallon of it. We're going to paint that on a screen. We're going to mimic the exact same demonstration and show you that it's not going to pull the contrast and it's not going to pull the color. Starfield demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
That's what you're supposed to display. And even my ultra light gray screen paint, the lightest gray screen paint we make, can pull a star field demonstration. That's how you're supposed to pull contrast. Anytime you display a contrast level, it's always supposed to be displayed in a fully lit environment. That way, this contrast level, if you're going to be doing a real test, a real serious test, has to be done in a fully lit environment. Black levels fade extremely fast in well-lit environments. A black level can maintain a better image in the dark. That's why your image faded that way when you turned the lights on, when you were showing the scenery of the ocean. When you were showing the car that was driving, the car was showing the side of the black car, you had the lights out for that. Because that would have faded the same way that the ocean did, the rocks against the ocean. So if you display a contrast levels are always supposed to be displayed in a fully lit environment because they'll fade the fastest. So, excuse me, anytime you send me a demonstration like that, be prepared that I'm going to out you on what you're doing that's wrong and how you're basically deceiving your customers. If I had this painted on 126 inch of my screen in here, you wouldn't have been able to pull up a contrast level to save your soul. All right, people, I'm gonna get back to basically finishing up my order forms for today. Oh, my sofa's crooked. Just showing you exactly, and just like same thing, when I go through Elite Screens and I go through DMP Super and all these big companies and stuff, and they're saying, hey, look, I got my windows fully open, there's plenty of light coming in. You know, I can see all that right from the door. I've been in the business for years, and I can see all the little tricks and trades and smokes and mirrors and all that nonsense. I can see it. I've got invited to go to facilities where I got a chance to test out my products. I've heard all the stuff they talk about in these facilities about how how they basically preset the room, where they put the lighting at, what kind of projectors they use, what they calibrating the projector to get the colors just right. I've seen all these smoke and mirrors and nonsense. So that's why I said I do the very opposite of what everybody else doesn't do. See how it's done? So that screen pulls up a black image from corner to corner. That's how that's done. And we started this video, I think I started shooting at around 9 o'clock. Outer space screensavers. This is my personal favorite. I like this one the most. This is what you should have been displaying. Now, I already know from looking at your demonstrations, how you don't use a lot of ambient light, how you stay away from contrast levels altogether, how you keep doing all these bright, colorful demonstrations, which you did. You showed off the room with all the lighting in the environment, and then you showed all these bright colors popping across the screen. That's easy to do. I can do that here with no problem whatsoever. You should have showed off a star field demonstration or a dark contrast demonstration. That would have been more impressive. All right, with that being said, and like I said, I don't bother shooting you links of my demonstrations. There's just no point, because the bottom line is my technology is better than yours. And it is. It beat like what? The screen beat like what, 18 or no, see, six or seven certified screens. So yeah, it's better than theirs, it's better than yours, and pretty much I can do this in a fully lit environment and watch a scenery on outer space. I can watch Batman Beyond, Underworld, any kind of dark contrast demonstration really doesn't make a difference. And And I can do this in a fully lit environment when you can't even show the color red correctly. All right, if you feel that I've wronged you in this demonstration, feel free to take that $4,000 projector that you have and mimic a star field demonstration in a fully lit environment, much like the one I'm using right now. And keep in mind, my projector sits back 18 feet. My screen's 120, my screen's bigger than yours. And my projector is cheaper than yours. 800 by 600 res, 720p. And I can do it in a fully lit environment with no problem. So if you feel that I've wronged you in a demonstration, just mimic the Starfield demonstration and then go to the customer's house and mimic a Starfield demonstration and display it the correct way, fully lit environment. Okay, showing you how it's done. Thank you all for your time. I gotta go. And God bless.